How do I politely tell my boyfriend that he's getting fat?
My boyfriend has put on a good bit these past few months, enough for me to be worried for his health. I'm also kinda starting to lose physical attraction. How do I speak to him about this?
Edit, I would never dump my boyfriend just because he gained some weight. I fucking love this guy. I get why a big majority thinks I'm shallow though. The losing attraction part was only a add-on. I care 100x more about his health, and honestly, I should have only mentioned that. Thanks for all of the great advice in the replies, BTW. Info like their age demographic would be helpful too. At 43, I'm a lot more worried about my long-term health than I was at, say, 23. So 23-year-old me would have been hurt if my husband had mentioned my weight becoming unhealthy, because health wasn't really a concern of ours at that age. It should have been, but like most young people, it really wasn't. Middle age has shown me you have a completely different mindset when your body is starting to show signs of aging. Health becomes the most important thing with a lot of us. In our case, we both keep each other in line because we have no children and we're all we've got. It doesn't hurt our feelings when we mention a bit of weight gain is noticeable because we recognize the place it comes from and we owe it to each other to stay healthy. As a fat guy, I'm in this boat. She and I got together after I had lost a ton of weight, and now, 3 years later, I've gained a bunch back. It's directly related to stress and coping. I lost weight at a time when I had little, and now it's very heavy, no pun intended. She's concerned, but she's supportive. At the same time, I'm ashamed of the way I look, so it's very difficult. The biggest challenge is that she clearly wants to be with me, but I feel like I'm doing this to her, and it makes me feel ashamed. It sometimes makes me think, why would she want to be with me when she could have someone else? These are such destructive thoughts. It all just rolls together into a ball of cynicism and doubt, and it's not attractive at all. I would say do little things that remind him that you still want to be with him. Separate from the "I want you to be healthy" thing. Everybody wants us to be healthy. Our doctors want us to be healthy. But we want our partners to appreciate and, yes, adore us. But you do need to bring it up. As a fat guy, I'm telling you to ignore anybody who comes at you with the fat positivity thing and to just accept them and say nothing. That only works with young people. As us fat people get older, health issues increase at a faster rate. Everything I'm saying here comes from experience. So, in a nutshell, you need to let him know you're concerned about his health, especially in the long haul. And you can tell him that you're saying this because you believe in the long haul with him. I'm in the same boat as you. I got together with my partner after years of living paycheck to paycheck and walking places instead of driving, so I was very fit. Once I made more money and had access to more food and easier travel, plus add in COVID, I gained way more than I expected, and it has been super difficult to lose it even when I cut back on food and eat clean. One thing he did was start asking about what physical activities I would like to do, and he mentioned doing them with me. Recently, we got a gym membership and he knows it gives me anxiety to go alone, so he makes sure anytime I want to go that he goes with me if he can. Sometimes we both have days we just don't want to go though. While he's never come out and blatantly said I've gained too much weight or that he's not as attracted to me anymore, I know that's the case. And I appreciate him still telling me that I'm beautiful and that he loves me, and that he wants to help me get back to a place where I'm happy with myself. Hopefully everyone on this same journey keeps seeing positive progress. Don't start with the physical, start with the mental. How are you really doing? Hey, I've noticed some changes in you. Is everything alright? Or has something changed for you recently? Would you like to talk about it? Or simply be direct if you think he can take it. Hey, you've gained quite a bit of weight in a really short time and it's noticeable. I'm worried for you. Would you like to talk about what's going on? My partner put on a lot of weight after he stopped smoking. He went from zero appetite to eating double portions. He knew I said I'm always up for food, but when he started to have the same he didn't recognize it until I named and explained it. Once the awareness was there, he started to catch himself with things like I feel like I want food versus I am hungry. Being able to recognize a craving, and realizing he's been there with smoking, helped him become more aware. From there, it was learning about normal portions and what makes you feel full, fiber for example. But before that it snuck up to him and he didn't recognize the change, while to me as an outsider it was very obvious. The most important thing is not to blame. So begin with asking and understanding. I would also recommend a medical checkup to rule out it being something physical. Thyroid changes or early diabetes can start fairly innocent and a blood test will reveal these. Preventive and early care are so much more affordable and you avoid things you may later regret you weren't faster on. Yeah, this. As a former fat guy, it's scary easy to fall into this pattern of eating recreationally that you don't even notice until people point it out. I would even wager he's probably eating out of boredom. Absolutely. Issues like this aren't always due to mental health, but I've found that if you carefully start with the more sensitive parts of the issue, it's easier to move on to the less sensitive confusion of oh damn, I didn't even notice. Once the topic lab-led weight problem is on the table, someone who already feels terrible might clam up hard thinking you only care about how they look. You're not you when your brain is on depression, stress, and/or anxiety. Bill Burr had the right answer here. You just start taking him on romantic walks that start getting longer and longer. Be like my wife and say, I see you're getting pudgy. My wife looked at me the other day and just said diabetes as I was about to eat a piece of cake. That certainly did the trick. Get control of your lizard brain and stop living by evolutionary standards. We were designed to eat whenever we can because the next meal could be far. By letting yourself eat whenever food is available, which is all the time. Get out of the comfortable space of your mind because it is your enemy. You look disgusting, be ashamed of yourself. What's in the past is done, but this is the future. My ex sat me down and told me pretty much that she wants me to be healthy and said I would look better if I were in shape. I had no problem changing my diet and working out to lose weight. Plus we ended up doing things like walking in the park together. It was nice. My BF is very sensitive about his weight, so I have some rules. I never talk about it unless he specifically asks. On those occasions I say he looks a little more bloated or maybe just a few pounds, but nothing noticeable, which in his case is true. But what I mostly do is encourage him to eat healthier food with me, drink less alcohol by not drinking much myself, and do more exercise with me, mostly walking. It really works. Ask him how he's feeling. People don't just get fat, there's a trigger to it. He's stressed at work/school, something's wrong in his family, something like that. Find the trigger and help him work through that, and make sure you're eating well with him. Support, don't shame. Has his diet changed at all? Is he less active than before? When was his last physical and/or lab workup? Does he have problems at work or elsewhere that could affect him? These are important factors to know and understand. It could be a physical health condition to even his mental health. It could literally be anything. Weight is a touchy subject to talk to anyone about. If you love him, be open, honest, and empathetic when you talk to him. Don't mention that you're losing attraction for him. This could be a condition that he can't control at the moment, and if you mention that, it could potentially make it worse. 3 bits of advice. Try to do activities with him that are physical. Hey, I've wanted to take up hiking. Would you go with me? Frame it about longevity and health. This is a little harder since I have no idea how serious you two are, what age you are, or how long you've been together, but you can always frame it about wanting for you both to be as healthy as possible so you can be active and healthy when you get older and avoid health problems. This works my wife and I, but we are getting closer to 40 than 30. There's a technique from counseling called motivational interviewing. It was created to help people stop smoking and drug use. You can use the same techniques, try to elicit from him how he feels about his own health shifts. Open-ended questions, affirmations, reflection statements, and summarizing are core tools here. Look it up. It's super powerful for helping people shift habits. Ultimately, people need to want to change. You can't make someone change who doesn't want to. If you want a real answer, my wife went through the same scenario with me. I used to work out regularly and over like 10 years just stopped and blamed it on work stresses/family stresses, just regular life stuff. She tried to bluntly tell me, and in my best days I'd be like, yeah, you're right, and then do nothing. On the worst days I'd get defensive. Then she started to get involved in the actions she wanted me to take. Every weekend she'd already have something planned to do that was active. Hiking, ice skating, working around the house, even just walking around somewhere for a longer period of time helps. I'd bitch about it, but ultimately once I got out there I was good to go and enjoyed it more than just sitting around playing video games, eating takeout, and watching Netflix. Then it gave me some more motivation to go work out again because I didn't want to be dying out there when hanging out with my family, and the best part is I thought it was all my decision to do these things. I didn't feel like she was doing all this because she wanted me to lose weight. So I would just look at what he was doing before he gained weight. Was he more active? Eating better? What can you do to communicate through your actions, not words, to get him motivated to better himself? Last thing I would do is come right out and say, hey, you've gained weight and I'm losing attraction to you. That will fuck the relationship up, and all he'll hear is you don't like him anymore and probably start planning his exit.